so they are ready. They're off. Mile and a quarter then for the Night of Thunder Zetland Stakes. They all tackle the trip for the first time. Purple jacket of Endorsement with Colonel in the very pale colours, light blue and white. Pierre Bonnard, the gambled-on favourite, dark blue, is pretty keen between them. Spicy in yellow is up there. Allegresse, white with dark blue sleeves, is next. The all-blue, royal blue of Look to the Stars has moved up to join Endorsement. They go ahead of Pierre Bonnard, who's trying to settle. Now two from the rear of the field. On the right in the pink is Las Vegas, and then Del Maro, white cap on the blue jacket, is fractionally ahead of Las Vegas. They head then down now to the final 3/4 of a mile, and it's Mr. Colonel who leads, shows about a length ahead. In yellow, Spicy, and the far side Allegresse are second and third places. Purple jacket Endorsement with Look to the Stars in all royal blue, just about level. 1 length further back, the dark blue Pierre Bonnard. Behind him, a white cap of Del Maro and the white face on the chestnut of Las Vegas. That is the order then as they approach now the final half mile. It continues to be Mr. Colonel leads. He's less than a length ahead though to the yellow colours of Spicy, who is getting a lot closer to him. On the left then is Allegresse. On the right in purple is Endorsement, and shadowing him in the dark blue is Pierre Bonnard. Off to the left, the royal blue colours of Look to the Stars going to challenge furthest from the grandstand. Del Maro and Las Vegas the next pair, but Mr. Colonel will lead him still at the bushes to Spicy in the yellow. Pierre Bonnard on the right being delivered with his challenge. One from the left is Allegresse. Extreme left is Look to the Stars. Del Maro getting into it as well. And Pierre Bonnard now is produced near side with his stablemate Endorsement. Spicy is still there. Del Maro running on behind those. Heading inside the last furlong. There's 5 or 6 in a line here. Pierre Bonnard is just in front to Endorsement. Del Maro closing, but at the end it will be Pierre Bonnard who's well on top. To Endorsement, Del Maro and Spicy.
Christophe Soumillon was on board Pierre Bonnard there in the Zetland Stakes. Gorgeous looking horse. What was the race like?
Yeah, he looks amazing when I saw him in the paddock. And the way he going down the start with so much power and calm, I was very confident with him. He jumped out the gates really fast. I was leading from a point in the beginning, but I was trying to give him a nice race to learn how to travel. And the pace was not especially fast, but he settled really well when I covered him behind Wayne. And then finally I came a little bit earlier to make sure he saw the dip and was able to quicken. And yeah, he responded really well, and he's still very immature, but I like the way he finished his race. And even after the line, he kept going, and the way he is mentally and physically looks amazing for next year, I think.
He's bred for the Derby and potentially even further. How was he in the dip? I know it doesn't completely replicate.
He moved really well. He was well balanced, and he didn't really change his leads in the race, so he stays always on the same one. So I think there is a lot of under him after the race. He's going to improve on that one. But yeah, I'm sure he's going to be a good horse for the Derby next year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, he's a gorgeous horse and he's won. Pierre Bonnard, Christophe Soumillon riding for Aidan O'Brien, wins the Night of Thunder Zetland Stakes. Christophe just had half a glance down just before the halfway moment to give you a moment of anxiety, but soon back on an even keel, and he's made his ground nice and smoothly and sustainedly near this stands rail to beat stable companion Endorsement. That's an excellent run from Del Maro, who remains a maiden after 4 starts, but gives quite a notable form boost to Ed Dunlop's colt in the Autumn Stakes next, who beat him quite a long way at Doncaster.
Yeah, he did, and Del Maro has looked a talented horse. He's run really well, certainly upped his rating significantly this afternoon, but the winner Pierre Bonnard, he went through the race keenly early, but then he settled down initially, eventually taken a little bit further back, moved beautifully through into contention, didn't he? And then he surged away, having briefly looked as if a couple might rally and give him a bit of a race. In the end, rising ground, he's done it very easily and tidily. Nice performance, well backed, lovely looking colt, and again, another good winner. And I don't think a race with massive excuses for many in behind, really.
He was just a shade keen because he didn't really get any cover early.
Yeah.
And Christophe Soumillon's allowed him and had the confidence to allow him to drift right back through the field to get him nicely switched off, and has then brought him to the stands rail, and he's never asked him to do anything too quickly. Everything's very, very smooth when he starts his run.
Yeah, it was a really measured ride, wasn't it? And say took him back and to just get him into that rhythm at this point in time. Decides to
stablemate gave him a lovely lead into the race, didn't he?
Tracks through Endorsement, who's run really well. I mean, he's run very well, hasn't he? The stablemate, but he's just, I mean, physically he's completely different to any others in this field, isn't he? He's just much bigger. The winner, I mean, he's much bigger, stronger, more substantial, and he looks like a colt with a lot of potential to be a top middle distance horse, doesn't he? They've got the pedigree for it. He stays really well. I think he's looked pretty straightforward when it's come to the latter stages, and he's needed to briefly have a race and a little bit of a fight to go on and win, and he's won tidily from a strong field. And
tell me how much he cost as a foal again?
He went through the ring at 80,000 euros as a foal,
and then he was resold to Coolmore for
280 as a yearling.
So he could have been anybody's. He was there on the market. Philippa Cooper, of course, raced the dam Sultanina, who won the Nassau Stakes, and she didn't really hit her straps until she was 4. And Mrs. Cooper was saying the other day, well, she hadn't really done an awful lot as a broodmare, and she sold her on. She has now.
Yeah, absolutely. No, this is a nice touch for her, isn't it? And she was a really good mare, wasn't she? And the fact that she developed a little bit later in life is all the more positive, really, for this fella's potential going forward. So he's got everything, really, hasn't he, to suggest that he could be a Derby type for next year, or a strong candidate for the middle distance to staying races at Group 1 level, because he's already won at Group 3 level as a 2-year-old. He's got the physique, the pedigree to suggest that he's going to train on, and yeah, he's done it in tidy fashion. It's not a performance you'd necessarily be rating too highly on the day, with a few in a bunch in behind, and Del Maro obviously still a maiden back in 3rd, but we can see from this shot how easily he goes through the gears to get himself to the front and assert.
And he's got such a long stride that he's going to be expending significantly less energy and able to do that, as long as he can harness that early exuberance.
Yeah, and I like his attitude. I like his attitude as well. He sticks his head down when he's out on his own. He keeps galloping out strong to the line, and there's a lot to like there.
A very nice horse. Pierre Bonnard has won this Zetland Stakes, and has done so pretty stylishly, Tom. We were bowled over by the way he looked beforehand, and fairly bowled over by the way he did this.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.